Hello and welcome back to the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and it's been a while, so if this is your first time here, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and the thumbs ups. This is such a great draft, man. Such a deep draft. Okay, the next ones are trade-up scenarios. And from everything I've read, and you guys can read it too, I'm not going to highlight them in specifics. There's several different ideas for trading up. I really believe that the Knicks could get up to, we could probably even get up as high as 12, possibly even 10, without having to do too much, without having to give up too much to get up there. It might even be, packaging the 2 picks and maybe throwing in a second rounder or 2. We can get one of those picks. And because these two guys, I believe have borderline all-star potential. And it's guys everyone's talking about. So it's not going to be any super surprise. Here we go. Moses Moody and Corey Kispert. Moody is such a tantalizing prospect in general. But for the Knicks, he's such a tantalizing prospect that no one even knows what his ceiling is. He may end up turning out to be one of the very best. He could be a breakout star. He could be one of the best, end up being one of the best players in the draft. 6'6", 7-foot wingspan, 210 pounds, fast, almost 6 rebounds. He's got a nose for the ball. I mean, he's perhaps maybe one of the top on-ball defenders available. Now, remember, one thing you got to remember: all of these players are flawed in some way or another. They're kids. If they weren't flawed, they'd be, LeBrons, they're all flawed. They're all going to have some kind of issues and defects, but his upside is so tremendous, and he's an excellent 3-point shooter. His comp is Glenn Rice. So, I think he's a 2-time All-Star, Glenn Rice. So I think he's going to be better than Glenn Rice. He always knows where to be on the court. His release, he needs to quicken his release a little bit to become that breakout star. But you know what? One thing I love about him, he played on that high school team with Cade. And he's been surrounded. He's played with other excellent players, so he'd fit in perfectly with RJ and Julius. I really, he's a wing. He's a defender. This guy, we could not go wrong, and possibly we could trade up to 12 to get him if he even slips down there. Some people have him going as high as 8. So, a guy to look for. But I love Moses Moody. If we had to give up 2 picks and Frank and maybe the 2 number ones, Frank and possibly even the number 2 pick to get Moses, I'd be fine. But there's other scenarios, depending on the team and where he falls. But there is an excellent chance that trading up will happen because it's possible and because the draft is so deep. So Moses Moody, huge win. That would be a huge win for the Knicks. Now, the next guy is my number one favorite player to come to the Knicks, because Corey Kispert may be one of the best shooters to come out of college in a very, very long time. One of the best pure shooters. And I know he didn't have a great end to his March Madness, but I'll tell you something. I think that if that was a 7-game series, Gonzaga wins that series. Man, he is special. In college, he's a 50-40-90 guy. I think he's going to be in the NBA a 50-40-90 guy. 50% from the field goal, 40% 3-point shooter, and 90% from the free throw line. He's got some athleticism. He's much more athletic than people think. Excellent size, 6'7". He can shoot over people. He gets his shot off. When defenders rush at him, it doesn't dissuade him. He gets his shot off, and nothing alters him. Just love this guy's shot. He's fantastic in transition. He finishes really well, and he's a good help defender. He's actually a pretty decent help defender. One-on-one, he's limited, but in a Thibodeau scheme, I think this guy could fit right in. Man, he comps as Joe Harris, someone that we desperately need. How desperately did we need a guy like this during the playoffs against the Hawks? Long wings. That's what we were burned by. Bogdanovich burned us. Herder killed us. I mean, of course, Trey did too, but those are the guys that really put the real punishment on us. Corey Kispert could be that guy. We could trade up and get him if he's available and slips past maybe somehow we can pull a trade with the Pels, get a number 10. I think 12 is definitely in play. I would love Corey Kispert. It'd be a monster win for the Knicks to get him. 44% from the three. 44%. Excellent. Borderline. I think I see him also as kind of a Kyle Korver-esque type of guy. You know, maybe he ends up his career year or two gets him into the All-Star game. He could be that kind of guy. That's how great a shooter he is. Okay. The last guy is a total pie in the sky dream scenario, because I have a feeling that the top part of the draft may not go the way it's being mocked, which is it may not go. I mean, Cade is Cade, but even then, there's been talk that Detroit might trade out or might draft Jalen Green. So there's a lot of weird scenarios, but let's just say Cade stays number 1 and Green goes number 2. There is a chance that Scotty Barnes jumps up into the top 4. And there's a chance this player slips to number 5, Jalen Suggs. There is a chance that Jalen Suggs slips down to 5. In that scenario, Orlando holds the 5th pick. And I'm going to give good credit here to Mike Bork. He has a scenario of offering Orlando Emmanuel Quickley. Yeah, okay. Hear me out before you freak out. Emmanuel Quickley, the 19th pick, the rights to the 2022 first round pick, but top 8 protected for the number 5 pick. So basically what we would be doing is swapping Emmanuel Quickley, and yes, some picks, for the future point guard, the point guard that the New York Knicks have been looking for, forever. Honestly, since Clyde, since Walt Frazier, I don't think the Knicks have had a point guard as good as what Jalen Suggs is going to be. Look at his comp, Jason Kidd. The one thing he's not superior at is the 3-point shooting, 33.7. But he can be streaky at it. And I think that's going to come. I think that shot's going to come. I've seen a lot of, everyone's watched him play tons. But man, his size, his speed, he's one of the fantastic finisher. Super creative finisher. He's a tenacious defender. He's an excellent rebounder. He averaged 4.5 assists. He's 50.3% field goal percentage. Man, he's strong. He's got a super tight handle. He's a great leader, and he's unselfish. And he would be he has all-star. He's going to be an all-star. He's going to be an all-star. I have like 99% certainty this kid will be an all-star. And he's 20 years old. RJ's 21. Can you imagine? Suggs, RJ, Randall. Wow. It's a total pie in the sky. It depends on certain scenarios, but he is the guy. He is the guy because, we have not seen, he might be one of the best college point guards in years. He's coming out the same year as Cade, the other guy, who's definitely one of the best college point guard in years. It just happens to be there's 2 this year. And The Knicks desperately need a point guard. We desperately need a point guard. If Jalen Suggs slips down the board, I mean, some people have him going number 2, so anything can happen. But if he trickles down. The reason Orlando is a possibility is because Orlando's got 2 lottery picks. They have the 5th and the 8th pick. So they might be interested. And they have Markelle Fultz, who, he was starting to show a little bit of promise, and he got injured again. And they may want to just hold on to him, and they can, increase their asset load and they can bring in, quickly and get more first round picks. I know it's a dream scenario, but man, if we could get Suggs, it'd be fabulous. It would be so phenomenal. Okay, well, if again, leave your comments. Would love to hear your feelings about it. Thumbs ups, subscribe, turn on the bell, and I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.